Hello guys, welcome you all to today's class. Uh, like we said from our earlier video, we'll be building this particular dashboard, and we'll be doing it live practical, right? So we'll be building this interactive dashboard, right? You can see the dashboard is interactive, is filter. So we are filtering by the product category: beauty, clothing, and electronic. We can also filter by the age group, boomer. You see how dashboard is interacting, is changing, right? So this is what we'll be doing practical in this class. So I want you to pay your rapt attention so that you'll be able to grab everything that I want to do. So without wasting much time, let's get started already.
Okay, now here we go. So we want to look at their data set that they provide for us. So we want to see if anything needs cleaning, if the data set is sufficient for us to answer their question. Because there are sometimes the client will provide you a data set that is not sufficient to answer the question they are finding answer to. So it is also your duty as an analyst to tell them that this data set you provide will not be sufficient to answer your questions. And sometimes you can go ahead and suggest the way to collect more data. So if this data set that is directly related to customer, you can now start to do survey. You can maybe or sort for data set or a secondary data set in order to answer that questions. So let's go and see the data set they provided for us. We have learned on how to load our data set to Power Query. So we are doing that live again. So let's load up our data set to Power Query. Okay, then we locate where you save your data set, of course, and we import. Just give me a bit of seconds, let it load up. Then we transform. So here our data set is load up. So one thing we'll not be doing here is data cleaning, because this data set has already been cleaned. So that's why we'll take a bit of time the last time to do data cleaning, and I'm sure that you all are aware on data cleaning already. So we are not going to dive into that again. You all have the knowledge on how to do data cleaning on Power Query, so we'll not be doing that again. So the first thing is that this is our data set and this is the name. So as professional, what you will do is, number one, if you see that the name of the data set is not correspond or does not align with, you can change it. So me, I like to change the name of my data set. So I can go ahead and rename. I can just name it data set. Because why do we change it? Why we change it is that sometimes when you are doing your calculation with DAS, your KPI, time will come that you will be typing the name of the data set. So if the name is too long or is complicated, no, it will affect your query, and it may give issues. So that's why it is advisable to change it to something easy. You can put it sales data, you can put it the name of the company, anything that will make you stick to your head easily. So me, I just like to change my own to data set. So you can, this is not cast and stone, this is dynamic. You can change it to anything that you can remember. So I like to change it. So the data set is clean. Like I said, we'll not be doing any cleaning. However, the only thing we'll be doing here is that if you look at the problem statement, they say they want to know age group. How does purchasing behavior varies across age group? They want to know that. And looking at our data set, we can see that the age group they provided for us. Let's look at the age group. The age they provide for us, there's no age group. They just provide age for us. Age 34, 26, and so on. So what we will do is that we want to group those age to age brackets. And what age brackets do we have today? What are the generations that we have today? I need somebody to answer me that. We have Gen Z, we have Gen X, we have Millennial, we have Boomer, we have Alpha, and all. So we want to group this our age to this generation. So we want to know, so that they will know which particular age group is patronizing them, is giving them more revenue, who are they need to advertise to, who are they need to take more seriously, and all that. So that is what they want to know, and we want to help them achieve that. So we'll be grouping this age to particular age group. And how we do is that number one, we want to check our data set. Let's see the minimum age and the largest age. So for me, you can see that the minimum age is 18, and if you scroll down, the maximum age is 64, right? So now we want to know the age generation category. So who can tell us how are the Gen Z, Millennial, Gen Alpha categorized? So what age limit, what makes somebody a Gen Z? What particular age will you be for you to be Gen Z? What age group will you be for you to be Millennial and Gen Alpha? Right? So for something like this, if it's not clear to you, you can go and do research. You can go to Google and write age generation list, like I've done earlier, right? You can use anything to help you do your work, right? Even AI is possible, but only that you have to know the basics, know what you are doing before you use AI. So you can see that generation beta, 2025, and blah, blah, blah. So that is like 2 years. I don't think we have that in our data set. There's not 2 years old in our data set. Gen Alpha is 2013 to 2024. So we don't have that also. This is like 10 years, so we don't have that. So the age we have is Gen X, Millennial, Generation, and Boomers, right? So that's what we'll be working with. So let's do that quickly. So we'll be doing calculated column. We'll be adding a new column. Then we'll go to conditional column. Please, I want you to follow closely. If there's a point you don't understand, please ask your question. So for us to group this age, sorry, somebody is chatting on the group. Okay. For us to group this age to age bracket, we go to a conditional column, like I said earlier, go to add column, then conditional column. Then we name the column to age group. Then we want to do conditional column, separating that to each of the group. So we select age. We now say if the age is less than or equals to, we know for you to be Gen Z, you should be less than 30 years. Right? So you'll be equals to 28, I'll be 29 or less than 29. So if you say if you are less than or equals to 29, look at the condition I selected. Less than or equals to. So if you are less than or equals to 29, that means you are Gen Z. Gen Z, I mean. Then we'll add another clause. The second clause is we select the age again. This is the column name. Then on operator, we also say if you are less than or equals to, for you to be millennial, for you to be categorized as a millennial, you should be less than or equals to 45. So if you are less than or equals to 45, then you are millennial. Right? Then we'll add another clause again. Then we'll select the column name. Then we'll select the operator. If you are less than or equals to 61, then you are Gen X. Then the last one is boomer. Because from our age that we set, we see that the highest age there is 64. So that means the last one will belong to boomer. X, you are boomer. If you are not Gen Z, boomer. If you are not Gen Z, if you are not millennial, if you are not Gen X, that means you definitely be a boomer from the data set provided. Because the maximum age is 64 and the least age is 18. So if you are not Gen Z, if you are not millennial, if you are not Gen X, then you should definitely be a boomer. Then we'll click OK. Then we can see the column has been created for us already, millennial. Let me admit somebody on the group, on the call. Okay, here we go. So the age group column has been created for us. So let's trace it and see if we are actually correct. The first one here is millennial. Let's filter by millennial and see. Let's unselect or click millennial and see. So when we select millennial, let's check our age. You can see millennial. If you are 34, you are millennial. Remember we said that the age bracket for millennial is less than or equals to 45. So anything that falls between 30 and 45, then you are millennial. So that's why we have 34, 45, 38, blah, blah, blah. They are all under millennial. So this tells us that our condition formatting is correct. And that's settled for that. So we are done with Power Query. So we want to load. Some persons were having issues on how to load and close after they are done with Power Query. So I want you to pay attention closely. So we have two options here. We have close and load direct. Then we have close and load to. This close and load is you are loading it to. If you have an existing workbook already you are working with, you can use close and load. It will load it like the case of an assignment. It will load it direct there. But this one that we are doing a fresh project and want to do Power Query, so it is best for you to use close and load to. Then it will ask you to create a connection so that you connect your data set. So you select only create connection. Please pay attention. Only create connection. That's what you will click. Then you now click add this data to data model. Add this data to data model. So pay attention to this. Once you are done that, then you can close, click OK. Then it will load it to a form of cloud, really. Let's say a form of cloud. So you will allow it to load a bit. So our data set has been loaded here for us. You can see the 100 row that has been loaded here for us. So the next thing that we need to do here is for us to extract a date column, a date table, I mean to say, from a data set. That's what we want to do now. So for us to achieve that, we're going to take this our data set to Power Pivot, then click on Power Pivot, then we'll go to Manage. So we want to extract date table from a data set. It's always advisable, as professional will do, they will want to have a date table different from the original data set. So because that will help them when they want to do the slicing, want to do the threading, so it makes it easy. So that's what we are doing right now. So we load our data set, we go to Power Pivot, then we go to Design, then you see a table here, right? Date table, then you click New. So what this will do is that it will come here, the date column here, it will extract all the whole date from there and make it a new table for you to work with. So this is what we do. You can see now we have the year separated, we have the month separated, we have the month number, the month name, and all that. So the only cleaning we need to do here is want to convert this to, if you see that this is January, February in full. So if you want to do our visualization, the name is too long, it will interrupt our chart. So the best way to do is to turn it to a short form. So instead of January in full, you have JAN. So for us to do that, you have to write 3M, small letter, then you click Enter. You can see it has been changed to the short form of the month name instead of the full. So we'll do the same to the date, because we'll be working with the date also. We'll be doing trend. So we change it to small letter D in 3 places. Now click Enter. So we are done. So you can go ahead and close this. So now we have 2 data sets right now. We have the data set, we have the calendar. So let's confirm that. So what we will now be doing next is for us now to start our analysis. Our data set is ready, it's transformed. We have, there's something I've not done. We need to create a connection. We need to create a connection. Now we have 2 data sets. The data set for our analysis and the calendar. So for them to work together, for them to sync, they must agree. And that agreement is connection. So when I load the Power Pivot table again, you go to diagram view. So we want to create a connection. So we have 2 data sets here. You can see data set, we have the calendar. So these are the 2 data sets that we're working with. So what you do is that you just drag the date. Just click on it really and drag it and drop it on the date for this one also. So it will create a one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationship. What do I mean by one-to-many relationship? What I mean is that this calendar table here, now, it has only unique date. So the dates here are not duplicated. But whereas in our original data set here, the date can be duplicated. Why? A 2 customer can go and buy item on the same date, and you will record the same date, right? But this one that we derive this table from this our data set, it only has a unique data set. So I believe that is clear. So after we have created our connection, you can go ahead and close this. So we have 2 data sets. So now we are ready for analysis. We are ready to do our pivoting. We are ready to start our project really. So now the next thing for us to do is to come to Insert, and then you come here, Pivot Chart, then you click on Pivot Chart and Pivot Table. Then we'll click on Existing Workbook. Remember Existing Workbook, so that we'll be doing our pivoting on this existing workbook. Then we'll click OK. So we don't need this for now, the chart for now. We are working on only the pivot chart right now, the pivot table right now. I'm working on the pivot table right now. Let me gauge our what is confusing. Are we all following? If you are following, let me see your reaction before we continue. If you are following, let me see a reaction. Are we too fast? Am I too fast? Is there anything confusing? Let me see a reaction if you are following. If you are following, let me see your reaction. If you are following, let me see your reaction. So far, it's only one person that's let me know that he's following. If you are following, let me see your reaction. Okay. Akudo, are you here? If you are here, give me a reaction. If you are following, give me a reaction. Mr. Adewale Bakri, are you here? Okay, somebody say, can I show how to extract somebody says it's not following. I can't see some screen from where you created the age group. Oh, are you serious? Please, can you show how you extract the date from the data set again? Oh, okay. Somebody say that he or she, okay, Akipelumi say, I can't see some screen from where you created the age range. Should we do that again? Should we do that again? Please, for the sake of this person, let's do that again. How we create the age group. And also how we extract. I think you are a bit fast. Okay. I am sorry. So I'll slow down, really. I'll slow down. So let's take that again. We'll be taking it from where we create the age range, and also how we extract the date from the data set. So let's do that quickly. So I'm sorry if I'm a bit too fast. So let's do that again. So let's go back to Power Query. So because it is from the Power Query, that's where we extract, we do that each column. So let's go back to Power Query. So we're going back to Power Query and this. So let's admit somebody. Okay. Go back to Power Query and we select our data as usual. So click OK. So watch our data set to load. I'll click on transform. Please, if you are still not seeing some screen, let me know so that I will know if it is error, if it is network from your end or the general problem. Because I share my entire screen, so I want everybody. Okay, Akipelumi Damnola, please, you have something to say? You can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, I'm not saying some thing again. I think you said that we go back to Power Query now. I'm not saying anything that you did.
Okay, let me see if it's only you guys. Stop sharing my Samsung. Stop sharing your screen. Okay, let's do that again. Let's do that again quickly. We'll go back to get data set. I hope you can see my screen, right? Can you see my screen like this? Is it showing?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are loading our data set to Power Query. Okay, thank you. Then we'll click on transform, as we all know this. So we watch it load, and then, like I said, we are interested in the age group because the clients, they want us to know which particular age group is contribute most to their revenue, which one would they need to advertise to, and all that. So we want to separate this age to particular age range, and we agree to the fact that we have a Gen X, Gen Z, Millennial, and Boomer from our data set. Because from our data set here, we see that the least age here is 18, and the maximum age here is 64, right? So now this age range now fall between Gen Z and Boomer, because for you to be a Boomer, you must be above 61 years. For you to be a Gen X, you must be above 45 years. For you to be for you to be a millennial, you must be above 30 years. And for you to fall under Gen Z, you must be under 29 years. So that is what so we are segmenting this age to. So for us to do that, we go to add column on our Power Query, then conditional column. Right? So go to conditional column. And can you see my screen? I hope you can see my screen. Then we change this, you can see it's written new column name. We change it to age group. That's the column name. Then which column name are we interested in? We're interested in the age column. Then the operator, we say this is less than or equals to. So if you are less than or equals to 29, then you fall under Gen Z. Is that clear? Is that clear? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we add another clause. The second clause is we are still selecting the age column. We are selecting less than or equals to. So if you are less than or equals to 45, right? If you are less than or equal to 45, then you are millennial. They will add another clause again. If your age is less than or equals to 61, it is less than or equals to. This condition is very, very important, so you must pay attention because we have different conditions here, but we are working with less than or equals to. So if you are below 61, if you are 61 or below 61, then you are Gen X. Then if you do not fall into any of this category, definitely you must be boomer, baby boomers, as they call them. Then you click OK. Right? So this creates that for us automatically. This creates that for us automatically. So that is it for the conditional column. Is that clear? Can we move on? Damola, is that clear? Can we move on? Do you understand that? Alright. So now after you've done that, we say you go to home and close and load your data set. You close and load your data set. So I'm not going to do that because I've done that already. Right? So now we are going to go to how we extract the data, the date calendar from our data set. So what we do is that you go to pivot table, then you go to manage. After you upload your data set, then you go to design, then you create table, then you create new. Right? To create new. Once you click on this new, it will create the data set for you automatically. Then you create new, and it will create your data set for you automatically. Right? So to create a calendar, now you see that there's calendar 1, there's calendar 2. So it's now creating 2 calendar for us because we have created one already. So he created this one for us. And for what I said that we change the name of the month to a short form so that it will help in our visualization. Right? So calendar 2, I mean. So we change this to a shorter form of the date of the month, the name of the month, so that it will help our visualization. So for us to do that, you have to change the capital letter M that is there to small letter m, and you put a 3, only 3 M. Then you click enter. Okay, another operation. Okay. Then click enter. Then that solve that. Then we'll do the same thing for the day of the week. So what is there earlier is capital letter D in 4 places, but you change to small letter D in 3 places. Then click enter. Right, it will change it to the short form of the name of the week for us. And we say after we have done that, then we'll go to home and we link them together, we'll connect them together, and we say what you do is that we'll just hold the date, drag it on the date from the data set, then it will create that relationship for you. So I hope that is clear. So we are deleting this because we don't need this. We have created that already. So I hope that is clear. If it's not clear, you can settle down and watch the video again, or ask questions, or even go to YouTube, Google, and see how it's been done. But I'm sure this is clear. Then we can close that. So now we are ready to do our analysis. So what we really need to do first is to go back to our document, right? So the first thing we want to do here is to create our KPIs. So we want to learn how to create our KPIs. The first KPI they want us to know is total sales. They want to know their total sales. So for us to do that, we come here. There's a way to create KPI, and I'm going to teach you how to do that using DAS formula. So you right click on your data set. Remember that you have 2 data sets, the calendar and the data set, the original data set. So you right click on the data set, then you add measure. Please, if I'm too fast, you let me know. You add measure. So on the measure dialog, you see measure name. So what you do is to write total sales. That's the name of our KPI, total sales. Then you write dash. So I'm introducing you now to DAS formula, DAX DAS formula that will professional use to create KPI. So for us to do that, first let me ask a question. How do we calculate our total sales? How do we calculate our total sales? I need someone to respond to me. Or mute and Talk to us. How do you calculate our total sales? How do you calculate our total sales?
Hello, Mr. Dana.
Yes, I can hear you.
I think after we must have gotten all the sales for the day or for the particular period, I think we get it by summing it up, if I'm right.
You are very, 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 very right. Thank you. So we sum the whole of our sales for us to get total sales. And how we calculate that using that formula is equals to, remember the equals to is there by default for you, so don't delete it. It's the sum. So as you are typing, it will automatically be suggesting for you. So we are typing the sum of total sales. So from our data set. Okay, somebody is joining. Let me admit the person. Okay, from our data set, we have, if you expand the data set, sorry, let me expand that. So if you expand our data set, we can see we have total amount. So now for us to get our total sales for KPI, so what we do is, right again, total sales is to sum the total amount, the sum of total amount. So it will suggest for you automatically. So you just look for the total amount here and click it here, double click it, right? Then close the bracket. Don't forget, close the bracket. Okay, I'm fast, Abby. Okay. Where don't you get it? Where is the part that you don't get? Is it how we write the formula? Okay, let me start afresh. So now want to calculate our first KPI. Our first KPI is total sales. They want to know their total sales. The clients, they want to know their total sales. So we'll go back to our data set and we'll say for us to create the KPI. How professional do is that you go to your data set. You can see here data set. You right click on it. Then to give you add measure. Click on it. Then to bring a dialog box like this for you. Then write the name of your KPI. We are calculating our total sales. So write the name of your measure. Then you come back to formula bar here. Here is the place provided for you to write the formula. Then you write sum. As you are writing it, it will suggest for you again. Double click on the sum. Then the sum of total amount. That is what gives us our total sales. Then you close the bracket. Right? So when you are done, if you want to know if your formula is correct or not, there is a button here. Check dash formula. You click on it. Then you see that it ticks. That the formula has no error. So this formula is correct. There's no error. So now it gives you a category. General, is it date, is it number, is it currency? So we'll come to number, then we'll come to, right? So we'll click on use 1,000. This one is not compulsory, but for you to be, if you want your work to be neat, you can just follow this, right? Click on number, use a 1,000 separator, and click OK. So if you look at under our data set now, total sales has been created, and you can see the difference between columns. The difference between column and KPI is that KPI we have FX, which stand for the formula. This is calculated, right? So the columns we are seeing here, transaction ID, date, consumer ID, does not have this FX, right? But this one is calculated. That's why it's having this. That's how to know the difference between your column name and the calculated KPI. So we have the KPI here. So now from this, we can just drag it and drop it on that value, right? So now we have calculated our first KPI. Let me bring it up. Right, so we have our first KPI calculated. So now the second KPI they want us to calculate is total customer. Second KPI is total customer. So we'll go back to our data set. So we'll go back again. When I click on the data set, we'll add measure. Then we'll write the name. Total customers. Then we'll go and write the formula again. The formula for us to calculate a total customer is to count each customer. So we are going to use distinct count. There's something they call distinct count, right? Distinct count. Then you double click. Then the column for us to use to drive our customer is customer ID. You can see customer ID. This customer ID represents each customer. So we find that column here and we double click it. Customer ID, right here. Then you close the bracket. You check your dash formula. It is correct. So as this one, because the customer cannot have a separator, so we just write number, we put it whole number. No, person cannot be 1.2 or be 1.1 or half. So person have to be whole number. So that's why we put this whole number and click OK. Right? So let's drag it to our value here. This is our pivot table, right? So we have 1,000 customer. So the third KPI I want to calculate is total quantity. So the same way we'll do it, we'll come here again, we'll write add measure. Just follow closely, it's not important, it's not hard. Total quantity. Then we'll write our formula again. So for us to derive total quantity, I'm going to count total number of quantity, column. There's a column for quantity here. So we'll now write the sum of quantity. Let's look for quantity column. Then you double click. Then you close bracket. You check your formula if it's correct. Formula is correct. So we use number and we click OK. Then we'll drag it and drop and see. Right? So we have total quantity. Then the next KPI is average order value. Average order value. On the average of each order, how much? Right? How much is the value for each on an average order? So what is the value of an order as per the average? So for us to calculate that, we'll come back again, then we'll right click, we'll add measure, then we'll write the name of our KPI, AOV, average order value. Then for us to calculate this average order value, we have to divide the total sales by the total customers. Total sales. So we write divide to bring it up. Then we are dividing total sales, the one you calculated already, total sales, then comma, total customer. You check. Your formula is correct, right? I want to ask a question. Do we get how we calculate this average order value? This is a bit technical, and I want to take it again. For you to understand, in case you don't understand. Average order value means on an average for all of the orders that we have, customer have the order, what is the average value for all the orders? So for us to achieve that, we divide average order value, we divide total sales, all the sales that we have, the company have accumulated, then we divide it by the total number of customers. That is straightforward, right? Then we turn it to a decimal place. Then we can add maybe a percentage, right? And that does that. So if you drag it up here, we'll see that on an average we have 456 naira or dollar, right? So this is Nigeria business, so it is naira, 446 naira per average for each of the order. So the last KPI they want to know their segment, the segment of their male and female. So for here we have the segment we have is male and female, right? Yes, male and female. So they want to know how many male they have, how many female they have, and they want to know that in percentage. So out of their total customer, what is the percentage of male customer and what is the percentage of female customer? Right. So I want you to pay attention closely. This KPI is a bit is lengthy. So I just want you to pay. If you pay attention, you will get it. It's not hard. Right. So let's calculate that quickly. So we add measure. We are calculated. Let's start with male. Male percentage of male. So now, how to achieve that is, we're going to divide. We divide, then we calculate. These they are all function already, an embedded function in Excel already. We calculate, we divide, then we count row. Then we count row for each of the data sets. Then you write data set. In close bracket, you write your comma. Right? I will drop this formula. I will drop this formula for you in case you have issues. I will drop it on the video so that you'll be able to follow. Then after we are counting each row from the data set, then we have to specify the data set again. Data set. Then which column are we counting? We are counting gender. Counting gender when gender is equals to male. Capital letter M. When gender is equals to male, right? Then we divide it by the let's close the bracket. Then we divide it by the total number of all customer, total customer. Then close the entire bracket. Let's check our formula if it's correct. Yeah, our formula is correct. right? This formula is long, so I will drop it for you. So don't worry, it's long. I will drop it for you. So this is a percentage for the May. So we come here, we select number, we select percentage, and take it to one decimal place and click OK. Right? So we can drag it and see. So now we have 49% number of May. So let's do the same thing for the May. So we can use our have 49% for male. So if you have 49% for male, so how many do we have for female? Consider the fact that we only have two gender, male and female. Let somebody answer me, so that I know that I'm not talking to myself. If we have 49% for male, how many do we have for female?
100 minus 49.
Okay, 100 minus 49 is how much?
That is 51.
51. Thank you. Somebody also even asked on the group also. So thank you very much. So that shows that you people are following me. I like that. So now we still have to calculate it again because you cannot just write it. So we are working with KPI, something that they will be tracked. Now we are doing for female percentage. That's the name of our KPI. Then we start with, like I said, we start with divide. So follow closely. Start with divide. Then we calculate. Then we count the number of row. So as you start typing the first or two letter, it will suggest it for you automatically. That's the good thing about this. Then we are counting the data set, not the whole of the data set. Then close the bracket. Then you specify the data set again, and the column you are looking for is gender. When gender is equal to this time around, it is female. When gender is female, then we close the bracket, then comma. We are dividing it by the total number of customers. Then we close the bracket. You check your formula. Only remember to check your formula. So check your formula, it has no error. We'll go to number, we select percentage. Then we'll put it to one decimal place. And we say, okay. Now, if you check this box, you'll see that it has been added. We have 51%, as you all have rightly said. So now our KPI has been calculated. So let's label it properly. Match, then write KPI. So our KPIs has been calculated, right? So we are moving forward. We are moving forward. So let me quickly admit somebody that want to join the call. Okay, we move forward. So we are making progress. Looking at our report, we have been able to achieve our KPI have been calculated. So now we want to start analysis now. So this is a pure analysis. So what we're going to do now is answering these questions using data set. So this question, they want to know who are their most valuable customer segments. So when they mean customer segment, they mean male and female, right? Male and female customer segments. So they want to know who are the most valuable customer segments. And how do we know who are the most valuable customer segments? Can somebody give me an answer? So they want to know who are their most valuable customer segments. How do we achieve that? From the gender, male and female, who is more valuable? So how do we achieve that? How do we go about that? I'm waiting. Should I call them? Because I know you all know it, or maybe you are not ready to talk. The gender with higher percentage. Oh, the gender with higher percentages. Higher percentage of what? Is it the 51% and the 41%? Okay, I think Pelumi, you can talk. Daniela, you can talk. Or mute and tell us.
The gender that gives the highest percentage.
Thank you. You owe me. You owe me airtime. So you will subscribe my MTN line. You owe me airtime. Thank you very much. So it is the gender with the highest sales. So that is what we want to do right now. For us to do that, so we want to use pivot table to answer all that. So let's expand this a bit. So the best way to do is to copy all this that we have done, so that we'll not be starting at inserting afresh. So let's come here. So now we want to use pivot table to answer all that. So let's remove all this. Okay, now that can stay actually. So let's remove all this. Just drag it out of the value to remove it, or you can just uncheck the box. Anyone that is convenient for you, you can just uncheck the box so to remove it. So we want to know gender by total number of sales. So from the pivot table, if you can see my screen, which gender is more valuable, contributed most revenue to this company? Whose gender? From what you can see on the screen. Can you see my screen? Shall I expand it a bit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yes. So from this, which gender contributed most to the revenue, is more valuable to this company?
Female gender.
Female gender. Thank you. They contribute a total number of 232,000. They are almost almost the same, right? The value, there's not much different, but for the sake of the number, the female contributed most. So quickly, for you to format your pivot table, there are some things that you have to let go. So let's quickly format this pivot table. The first thing you want to do is that let's remove this grand total. We don't actually need it. So what you do is that you come to your pivot table, then you come to feed setting. Is it feed setting now? Okay, let's go to, it's not feed setting. Let me yeah, it should be feed setting. It should be feed setting. I'm coming. Oh, let me right click. I think it's right click. Oh, this. Pivot table options. Okay, here you right click, then you come to total and filter. Then you uncheck this grand total and grand total in columns. Right? So let me do that again. So you click on the pivot table, you right click, then you come to pivot table options. Then you click on the tab that says total and filters. You uncheck these two. Right? And the grand total up here, down here, that is gone. Then the second thing is to do is to format it very well. So let's format it so that it will house the currency. If you are using dollar, you use dollar. So come to feed setting, you come to number formatting, then come to custom. We are using Naira. So let's use Naira. You can see, just select anyone from here. Right? So let's use Naira. Let's click OK. No, I don't like that. Okay. I don't like that. I'm going to select another one. So just check the one that formatted very well for you. So let's let me use this. Click OK. Okay, now it's giving us dollar. So let's work with dollar. But there's Naira actually. Let me check for Naira. There must be Naira. How would they just not value our own currency? Let's use our currency. Okay, yes. See the symbol here. You can select it to Naira. So here, let's click check for Nigeria Naira. Check for Nigeria Naira. Oh, can you see what they do for us? They do Edo Naira, Fula Naira. Just select anyone, their own Naira. So let's use Igbo Naira. Igbo Naira. So let's click OK, and that is done. So we format it properly and everything. So let's format this also to the same thing. Let's come here. Let's format it. Let's come to format, number and format, custom, and then let's choose the one we choose before. This, the last one, right? Click OK. So that this is OK. So this makes sense. So let me increase this again a bit. I hope you are all still following me. So now we have achieved. Okay, somebody want to join?
So please, is it under inside that you saw the currency?
Okay. Okay. Now if you click on your pivot table, right? Click on pivot table. You will see pivot table analyze. Pivot table analyze. Can you see it here? Pivot table analyze. Here you will see feed. You will see feed option. Feed setting. Feed setting. Can you see my cursor? Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Yeah. When you click on feed setting, it will bring the dialog box for you. Then you see number and format. Number format. Then click on it. Then check option. Custom. So you can just check around anyone that's okay by you. You can use. There are many of them, right? So just select anyone and click OK. So this is just formatting. Now let's move on. We have answered the first question, the most valuable customer segment. Now we'll be answering this. Which product category contribute the most revenue? Which product categories contribute the most revenue? So this is simple. They want us to know the same thing we did with the customer segment. Another thing is that let's label the name, please. Let's label them properly. So margin center. So this is this will be total sales by gender or by segment. Let's use the same word they want us to use. Total sales by segment. So let's copy this, bring it down.
and use it to answer the next question. Next question is, which product category contribute the most revenue? So which product category? Now they have a column here called product category. So let's remove this gender. We are done with that, so we replace it with product category. So which product category contribute the most revenue? Now it pivots the total sales by the product category. So here you can see that beauty is bringing 143,000, clothing 155, electronic 156. So that tells us that electronics contribute most of the revenue, right? Even though the figures, they are quite balanced, right? They are quite on an average, they are quite on the same level, but electronics still give them more money. So let's change this to total sales by categories. Total sales by categories. So the next question we'll be answering is, how does purchasing behavior vary across age group? So now they want us to know, they want to know the variability of the age group, how they perform, how they buy, understand. So that's what they want to know. Now for us to do that is that, how we'll do that is that, let's copy this to use to answer that question. So you can let's just put it here, right? So they want to know, let's look at the question again, how purchasing behavior vary across age group. So for us to do that is, so we'll go to remove product category number 1 and replace it with age group. Where is our age group column? Age group column. And in addition to that, what we'll do is that we'll go to add average order value under the total sales on the value space here. So we have total value, total sales, average order value. Then also we'll now pivot that against our age group. So this tells us how their purchasing behavior, how it varies, how it different. Understand? Now we have the total sales, also have average order value for each of this age group, right? So this answers that questions. So the next question we'll be answering is, okay, let's change the name. The name is this is purchasing behavior across age group, right? So yeah, margin center. So purchasing behavior across purchasing behavior across age group. So the next question we'll be answering is we've answered this. So number 4th question is, which product category are preferred by each age group? Product preference by age group. So let's answer that question also. Let's copy this. Let's bring it down. So which products? Let's look at the question again. Which product category are preferred by each age group? So what we will do here is that the same thing. Let's just remove the average order value, and what we'll be adding is product category. So we'll add the product categories to the column space here. So they say which product categories are preferred by each of the age group, right? So let's change the name of this to product preference by age group. Product preference by age group. So the asked question is that which product is being preferred by each of the age group. From here now you can see that beauty boomers, they contributed 30,710, right? Millennial 48,000, Gen Z 41,000, Gen X, I mean to say Gen X 48,000, Gen Z 41,000, Millennial 49,000. So the beauty product category is more preferred by Millennial, then followed by Gen X. And then clothing, you can see that Gen X they buy more of clothing, that's followed by Millennial. The electronics, you can see that 54, Gen X also, they buy more of electronics than any other, then followed by Millennial, right? So that's settled, that answered that question. So the next question they want us to answer is how do sales perform across month and weekly quantity order across categories? So let's answer that question now. Product preference. So now they want us to do monthly sales trend. So let's copy this, then bring it here. Copy this and bring it here. So we'll be taking this out. So the only thing we'll be having here now, we are now going to the calendar table, because now they want us to do what the question is, how do sales perform across months. So they want us to know which months are they making more sales, the performance, the trends of sales for each of the months. So we'll be going to calendar table, then we'll be open more field, then we'll be dragging your month to the row. So this is the monthly sales trend. So let's change the name to monthly sales trend. Sorry, monthly sales trends. Monthly sales trend. So this answer the questions. This answer part A of the fifth question, because the part A, this fifth question has two questions here. Number one is how do sales perform across month, and weekly quantity orders across category. So let's answer that. So let's copy this again, and then we can put it down. Right. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be removing the month. We'll be putting it with the day of the week. Then we'll also be pivot that with, because the question is weekly quantity orders across categories. So we'll be removing the total sales and replace that with total quantity. Then also we'll be adding our product category to the column row. Yes, so that does it. So we can see that by Friday, beauty is 117, clothing is 132, electronics is 124. Monday, beauty is 122, clothing is 133, electronics is 130. Down to Wednesday, beauty is 94, clothing is 138, electronics is 122, and this is the quantity order. So this is the quantity order by across each day of the week by each of the product categories. So this, we have successfully answered the questions that the leadership of Eddy Supermart they want us to answer. So we have successfully answered all their questions using this pivot table. So the next thing we'll be doing is we'll quickly name all these pivot tables, so that when we are doing building our dashboard, it will be easy for us to reference when we are connecting and we are slicing. It will be easy for us to know how to connect them. So how professional do is that they will name each of these data sets. But first, let me change this name. So this is weekly quantity order by category. Yes, weekly quantity order by category. So weekly quantity order by category. So this do that for us, right? So okay, yes. So this answer this for us. So what we'll be doing is that we'll be renaming this our pivot table, so that it will be easy for us to identify them. So for us to rename them, what we'll do is that you click on each of the pivot table, then you go to pivot table analyze, then you come here, this actually here, then you expand this, then you see the name. They'll give it a default name, pivot table 10, but now we want to give it the proper name. What name can we give to this now? Since it is sales by gender, then we can just say sales by gender. We can give it sales by gender, right? So the name of this now is sales by gender. Let's check if the name has changed. Yeah, you can see that the name has changed, sales by gender. Then the second one is sales by category, so let's rename that also. Now says pivot level, but we'll be putting sales by category. I click enter. Then the next one, this is purchasing behavior. So let's change the name also. Purchasing, shortcut behavior. Then enter. Then the fourth one, this is product preference. Let's change the name again. So this one, just write product preference. You can just write anything that you can remember with, right? You mustn't change them with the name I'm using. Just anything that you know that you can remember them with, that is easy for you to remember with, right? This is monthly sales trend. So this one I'll just write monthly trend, right? So it's not cast in stone. You can use any name you want. So this one I'll just put weekly orders. Alright, so definitely rename our our pivot table. The next thing we'll be doing is that this is our KPI. They all have to have their name. Yes, they have their name on our data set here. When we created them, they have the name here. But when we are building our dashboard, so that we'll be able to reference them, right? So the best thing to do is we'll go to rename them also, just like we rename our pivot table, but in a different way. So how we rename them is, now click on the value. This for 456,000, click on the value. Then to bring this is the reference name A3. But for it to be easy for you, you just click the A3, put the right name you want. So this one I will put total sales, TOT and sales. Right? So we have changed it, this name. Right? This name has changed. So instead of A3 now, the name is total sales. So when you are building your dashboard, it will be easy for you to reference it. Understand? So the next thing is total customer. You click now, the name is B3. Right? I'll just write total COT customer, short term customer, total customer. Then I click enter. Remember to click enter once you have done specifying the name. And again, this is not cast and stone. You can use anything that you'll be able to use to identify them. So this one, total quantity. We also use total quantity. Total quantity. In renaming them, don't put space. Right? You can use underscore, but don't use space. So if you want to write total customer, don't put space. Or if you want to give them gap to make them more readable for you, you can use underscore. Right? So you can use underscore. Or use anything that you can remember. You can even use 1 or 2 or 3, anything that you can remember. So average order value, I will change that also to AOV. Then female, I'll write female percentage. Okay, you can see you must enter a value reference, right? So that percentage I put, that's why it's not working. So I just put a female. Then male, I just write female. Right, so they all have name now, right? Male, female. Watch here, you see you'll be seeing here as it changes, average order value and the rest. So we have answered the questions. So the next thing we need to do is the next thing that we need to do is now do visualization. Understand? So this now is hard for you to you cannot present this to executive. So they will now be reading number. You don't do that. So we'll be building dashboard, and this is what we do on this project. So we turn all this analysis, we turn them to build a dashboard like this, and that's what we'll be doing. So these charts, that's what we'll be doing next. We'll be building those charts next. So I don't know if you can do that now, or we should do it on the next class, right? Okay, let's do the chart. So that we'll continue. The next our next class will be only concentrate on dashboard. So let's do the chart now. So the first chart here is sales by segment. So we'll go to insert, then go to pivot chart, right? So it will recommend a chart for you, right? The main purpose of chart is not because it's what you like or what is beautiful, but what can easily communicate what you are trying to say, the question you are answering, what can easily communicate it, what make it look simple. Your chart must be simple, must not be complicated, that at a glance, once looking at it, they must executive or non-technical stakeholder must easily know what you are saying. Understand? So your chart must be free from ambiguous, must be plain and simple. So, but for this total sales by segment, I'll be using a donut chart. Then click on pie chart and donut chart. Okay, donut chart, yes. So this is fine. So now let's do a bit of formatting. Right click on this, then hide all the whole field. Then come here. Let's add label. You can add more, expand, more options. Right, more options. I want to add category name and percentage. Right. Okay, so I'm done with the first chart. Second chart is total sales by category, right? So the same thing, come to insert, then go to pivot chart. Yeah, this column chart is fine by me. So I'll put it, and I'm going to hide all the whole field, all this name, I don't want them. Then another thing I want to do is that I want to make all this line, like this grid line, I want to hide it. You come here, you click the box, hide grid line. Right, so that is fine. So you can also add data label, right? So, and you can delete this if you want. You can delete this, right? so that it will be plain without nothing is confusing, very plain. Right, this is beautiful. So the next thing to do is this producing behavior. So producing behavior, we can see that we have two values here, total sales and average order value. So we'll be doing combo chart here. So let's do that practical. We want to go to insert, go to pivot chart, then come here, go down the last one, combo chart. Then we'll be using yeah, that is fine. Or here on the average order value, this place, this line chart, check this box, then click OK. Right, so this is combo chart. So let's hide all those values. So hide all fit button and on chart, right, so that it will have more space. Right, so this is okay. So I can also add, let's add data label to the line chart on top. Data label, you check it. Right, so this is fine for now until we are ready to do that board. So you can see this one also. Let's remove the grid line. I don't like the grid line, so let's remove the grid line. So that is okay. Right, so let's bring it down. Let it be here for now. Then the next is product preference by age group. So let's go to insert again, pivot chart. So this column chart is fine. Like I said, there are plenty charts. So we'll be maybe on our next class we'll be talking on the charts. So which chart you should, because all the charts now they answer, there are different charts for different question or for different visualizations, right? So like scatter plot, for instance, now is used for relationship. So on our next class we'll talk about, but just follow me on the chart I'm picking. So I'm picking a cluster column chart for this. So this answered the question perfectly, so it is fine. So let's hide all this button, and yes, this is okay. So let's bring it down. We'll be moving them from here to our dashboard. So these are just here temporarily, depending on when we are ready to build our dashboard. So we'll move them. I just want to quickly do this chart so that in next class we'll just focus on dashboard, doing the wireframe, and then we are done. So this monthly sales trend, like I said, the type of charts, different chart, that type of chart for different type of analysis. So anytime you hear trend, the best chart to use is line. Now, so let's use line. I want to use the one with marker. Right, so the one with marker. It's fine. So let's hide the feed option also. Feed button option. Right, so you can hide this also. You can delete this. So I will have more space. You can also delete this. You can also remove the grid line. Right, so let's bring it down and bring it here. Let's bring it here. Can reduce this for now. Let's bring it here. So the last chart here is the weekly. So let's see which chart we are using. We'll be using line chart as well. Line chart we answered out perfectly. So click on line. Right, so this is okay. It's okay. So you can also hide the grid line. Grid lines. You can hide the button options. So this is okay for now. So in our next class, thank you guys for staying till now. In our next class, we'll be looking at our dashboard. The first thing we'll do is that we'll do wireframe. Understand? So we'll do the background. I'll be using the color I want. So you are at liberty to use the color you want, right? But you shouldn't use more than 3 colors, maximum 3 colors, 3 different colors. You can use 1 if you can. If you can use 2, it's perfect. But on the maximum, don't use more than 3. If you look at this dashboard now all the whole color here, right? Just 2 color that help us to achieve this dashboard. So you can use maximum of 3. I'm not saying you use my color, the color I use, but if you want to use it, no problem, right? So but don't use more than 3 color, right? So that is what we'll be doing on our next class. And our next class also will be doing a slicer, this filtration, so that we'll be able to filter. We'll be doing the wireframe, be connecting the data set like this now is connected to the dashboard and everything. So that's what we'll be doing on our next class. So the assignment here is that I'm going to drop this data set for you. So you will do the analysis up to this point that I stopped. Right? You will do it up to this point, and I will communicate to you when you will submit it. Right? Communicate to you when you submit it. Probably before our next class, so that our next class, if you have any question you want to ask, you can ask. Anything that need clarification, you can bring it up. Then from there, we will build the dashboard together as well. So thank you guys for staying. We'll see you in the next class.